capitalism, red in tooth and claw, has always manipulated gay people. Now you can say, oh well, straights go to pubs and straights go to restaurants, but the way that gay people meet is always tends always to be in a commercial situation. And often, and I used to resent it, and still resent it, the pints were more expensive in these places. You were not really treated that well. In the case of bathhouses, which I was a cognoscente of in San Francisco, pre-AIDS, I was there for a year, the whole setup was incredibly clever, based on mimicking, but in a commercial setting, all the frightening places and situations that gay men got themselves into, but in a completely safe, well, as it turns out, not safe, but, And now the websites are doing exactly the same thing. And they do it very, very subtly and cleverly. I'll leave you to imagine what they're doing. But and nobody on the sites that I've looked at sometimes, very few though, are looking for partners. They're all looking for NSA. No strings attached. Yeah. And you tick all the qualities you want and don't want, and da-da-da and da-da-da. Then you press send, and a list of people who conform with those qualities appear, possibly. So, if we're talking about civil partnerships, at the moment, being the age I am, the civil partners are all that I know are all in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Now, if it started becoming happening and in the 20s, I'd be more optimistic. But it looks to me like promiscuity is, what I would say from my own experience is that promiscuity kills the heart. It makes it far more difficult to accept grown-up lovemaking. But with grown-up lovemaking, it's meeting the same person every day, putting up with farts, spare tires, ailments, loving the person for who they are, not what they've got on the end of their body. Something I used to think was a virtue in me, which was pleasing people, was in fact a vice. Not because pleasing people isn't a good thing to do, because it is, but if your motive is that having pleased a person, you walk away thinking, oh, what a good boy am I. That's the sort of people pleaser I've been. And that sort of stuff has to, if you're ever going to grow up, and I suppose Benson at 60 is about a fellow who's in his 60s, or coming to his 60s, and hasn't grown up. I have his thought processes every day. I mean, I also tend to correct them, whereas he often doesn't. He gets carried away by them. So I sort of enlarge on the sort of stuff that goes through my head most days. So he's not really, I have to say, a fictional character. Now, I don't think we ever grow up completely, and perfection isn't part of what I believe in these days, but a tendency towards it would be nice.